It's Scott Ozzie and VictoriaKenbridge.com, but right now I'm getting ready to type tomorrow's edition. This is kind of old, I think, and it says don't touch, but you know me, I never pay attention. However, Ann does know about this place. We're actually at the Crew Railroad Museum. This is something you'd expect to see in a major city.
Right.
I mean, how long has the museum actually, when did it actually start? The idea of its, inception, if you will.
About 15 years ago.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, I can personally say I've seen places in 20 years, and you think they were like, oh, what, 20 months ago?
No, it's
This
been here
looks
a while.
like it is.
It was started about 15 years ago.
What was the actual impetus for getting it started, as far as the interest and the kind of fire keg that a lot of this stuff kind of
I
has?
think probably at the time the railroad is going back, the town is going back, and some of the retired people, some of the older people in the area were trying to do things to bring Crew back to life
Right.
because we've lost so much.
Sure. Sure.
And Work Corey, these are some of our founders.
Oh, well, on the
who
wall
work with
here.
the museum here.
Okay.
And they helped to get it started, and it was just a way of bringing people back to the town. So much of our history has
And
been lost.
the roundhouse, well, yeah, I say all the time, history is something you have or you don't. You don't manufacture it. I mean, you can in a way, but overall, you have it, and that's what the soul of anywhere is. And unfortunately, today with the younger kids, it's getting smaller and smaller and
They care
smaller
less.
of what it's about. And yet, this is an amazing and very interactive and good feeling aspect of it. That sounds like
That sounds like my phone.
the cell phone. It sounds like that, or the choo-choo train's going in that. So, so when they suggested doing that, did they start to have some good enthusiasm in making that happen?
I think it took a little bit to get it started, but we have a lot of volunteers now.
Right.
And we've had a lot of help. The railroad has helped. We get a little bit of help from the government, not much, but
Really?
everything
Okay.
is volunteer, everything's been donated, and we just have some good people
Right. Right.
who are doing what they can
Sure.
to keep the railroad history alive here in Crew.
To be in there. Now that's the actual model of the
That's
roundhouse that
That's
was
an
here.
actual scale model
Really?
of the
Okay.
original roundhouse here at Crew.
And we were actually talking about, I mean, there are certain things that link us together. I always think one of the things that links us together, no matter we're from here, Jupiter, or 5 galaxies away, are A, B, C, D, E, F, G. There is no H. Music is the only truly universal language.
Right.
And we were kind of talking about WSVS right across the way, a little bit of history. And you mentioned an interesting thing was we were talking about that.
Oh, yeah. Well, Roy Clark, everybody knows, grew up close to us in Meherrin.
Meherrin, where exactly is that?
Meherrin is about 20 miles up the road,
Okay,
up 360 from Crew, south of Crew.
right.
And his family had a band, and at the time, my uncle Buster is married to Roy Clark's first cousin.
Oh, okay.
And Buster and Roy Clark and Jimmy Dean all played together. up in
Jimmy Dean,
Washington.
who had quite a life before sausages came
Oh,
into
yes.
it, as we well know. Yeah, I actually lived up in New Jersey for a little bit in that, and back from New York, and then settled back down
Oh, yeah.
in Richmond. So they always used to play music in that. I think we got into talking to that from bluegrass, because bluegrass is certainly that knit, close-knit
Well, around here,
music
so
around
many
that.
people,
What's going on that?
that was what they played, was bluegrass. We used to have family get-togethers,
Mm-hmm.
and everybody played something, and a lot of times the Clarks were there,
Right.
and Roy used to come down and go hunting with our family.
Oh boy.
And with my father, and it was just the thing to do whenever we had a family get-together.
Right.
The men always brought their instruments along.
Well, that's interesting, and of course, if you are on 460 or Southside Virginia, you definitely want to make a stop because not only you can live a little bit of history at the Crew Railroad Museum, and we're actually going to take maybe a walk through. I think they have a passenger car that's rather filled up, and if they have a fare with the plates and everything set up in the table, I mean, place to eat. So we'll have to check that out in a minute. All right. Thanks for not touching, but definitely come see.